Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to explore a little bit of the dip acrylics. So if you really love acrylics but you can't stand the monomer smell, then this might be a nice option to have. And I don't know, I like the smell of monomer, but I know a lot of people really don't like that smell. So dip acrylics is really odorless and it's easy. So let's get started. So this is the set I'm going to be using. Now, just see, okay. Normally inside, there's obviously an instruction pamphlet. Included is a nail file, a buffer, an orange wooden stick. Great if you can use this to push back your cuticles or to clean up around the cuticle if there's any excess that you want to remove. And a brush. I'm sorry about the dogs barking. So included, normally there's 3 bottles and then 1, 2, 3, 4 colors, or sometimes 3 colors and then 4 bottles. The 4th one is always a brush cleaner. So this kit unfortunately did not include a brush cleaner, so you will get the base and then the activator and then a top coat. Now you can use this top coat, it's air dry, so it does take a little while to dry. There's nothing wrong with using this type of top coat. You can use, like I said, it's included in the set, so you can use it. But I'm going to be switching this one for a gel top coat. The shine for me personally is so much better, and it's not a lot of waiting time for it to air dry. So I always prefer using a gel top coat. And I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks. So we're going to do one nail with a solid color and then one with a French, and then we'll do a multicolor one. So I'm going to show you how to do those, and then after we can apply some nail art, because I did get a question about, can you do nail art on dip acrylic nails? Yes, you can. So I'm going to show you. So this is from Nocus, and for the solid nail, first now I'm going to do a solid color, and this is going to be the light pink one, and then we can move over to the French one, which is going to be a darker color. Let me just, and then a lighter color for contrast, and then we'll go for the third nail, we'll do a multicolor one. So helping me today will be Andrea. Now nails has already been placed, and I use sticky tape to stick this to her fingers. And even then, believe me, you won't be able to do a lot of filing. It will actually slip off. So if you are doing any type of gel, or like a soft gel, a hard gel, a hybrid gel like polygel or acrygel even, or acrylic, or even dip acrylic, you need, or even gel X, you need to always prep your nails. If you skip that step, what's going to happen is the nail will lift. But I'm not going to prep her nails because, well, she doesn't do much, obviously. So she's not going to do the dishes or even pick her own nose, although that would be funny. So we're going to just start with her. So I'm going to use the first color. Let me just shake it up a little bit. Also keep in mind that this is odorless, yes, but the temperature in your room is actually, it does have an effect. If it's hot in your room or wherever you're doing this, then it will air dry faster. It's really cold here, so it might take a while. So always keep that in mind. Oh, before I start, I've had questions about my hands. How do I keep my hands in shape? Okay, or not in like dry and crusty and everything like that. So I do use this. Now this is a tissue oil and it's body lotion, but I use it for my hands, for dry skin, sun damaged skin, aging skin. So the tissue oil in this really makes this an excellent product. Now if you are from South Africa and it's winter time and you have a little bit of problems with dry hands or whatever, Miss Nicoline, she's one of the girls in my, always on my comment section. You can reach out to her and talk to her about it, because she sells them, and this is really amazing. This is a lifesaver for me, because I always file, I do use a lot of acetone and I do use a lot of alcohol, and this tends to dry out your skin. So this has been a lifesaver for me. And let's get started. So the trick to this is you always need to apply the base, the first one, you need to apply evenly. Let me just stay in shot, try to stay in shot, because when it comes to not staying in shot, well, that's my superpower, I guess. So I'm going to just, let me see if I am in shot still. Well, I'm hoping I am. An even coat, close to the cuticles but not touching. Why is that glitter there? Oh well. Remember, this is air dry, so you have to be fast. So I'm going in at an angle. I'm going to tap to remove the excess. And there's your first layer. Now you're going to have to wait for about 60 seconds if your room is not too cold. So I'm going to wait about a minute and a half, and then I'll dust off the excess and repeat the process. Lightly dust off. And now I'm going to just repeat the process again. Even layer. Close to the cuticles, not touching. Angle. And tap off. Again, you're going to have to wait a little bit before dusting, and then you can just apply the activator on top. Really quick, really easy. Now I'm going to apply the activator, making sure that it's everywhere that I applied the powder. If it's not everywhere, what's going to happen is the moment you start filing, you will file away or file off some of the product, and you don't want that. So and now it just has to air dry. So while we're waiting for that one to air dry, let's start with the second now. The French tip one. So I'll be using this one again, and then the tip of the Frenchie will be this one. I think they look great together, so let me just move them so you can see. Okay, I'm going in with the base again, even coat. Close to the cuticles or the cuticle area, but not touching. Now you have to be quick, so I'm going in with the tip, the color I want the tip to be first, dust off immediately after, dust off again. Now we're going to wait again before dusting, and we'll repeat the process to build up the color. Okay, so I did apply, reapply, and now I'm going in with the activator. Andrea did decide to lose that nail. Thank you so much, Andrea. Why is it always the middle one? Why? Now see the glitter underneath? That's not supposed to happen, but she did fall, or the nail did fall, so okay. It happens. So now, while the activator is busy air drying, I'm going to be starting on that now. So for this one, the multicolored one, I thought let's do a rainbow one. So I'm going to use a bright yellow. Let me see if I'm still in shot. I'm hoping I am. And a purple. Again, you have to be really quick, because remember, this is air drying. So I'm going to apply the base, start with the base again, even coat. It is really cold here, so it does take a little longer. First one. Dust off immediately. Second one. Dust off. And third one. Just okay. There we go. Dust off again and wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to repeat the process again. So once this is a little bit dried, I'm just going to dust off, then I'm going to reapply the base, immediately yellow, and then purple, and then pink. I'm going to apply the activator. This really is, it does have a little bit of odor, but it's really not bad. It's very faint. And now I'm just going to wait for it to fully air dry. Now, when it's still wet, it's shiny. I don't know if you can see. But the moment it's air dried, it becomes like matte. This one has about a minute left. This one still shiny. And this one's obviously just been done. So I'm going to give it like 5 minutes maybe, because it's cold here. Normally it will take about maximum 120 seconds, so 2 minutes. But since it's cold, it's going to take a little bit longer. So I'm just going to wait for this to dry, and then we'll file. Although there's not a lot of filing, but you do need to file. So clear up make it nice and crisp, the free edge and side walls. And if there's any lumps and bumps, you can file over it. But it doesn't look like there is. Let me just... I honestly don't think there's any filing, really. But I am going to file a little bit on top, just to make sure. And then I'll be back and we can start with some nail art. So this will be 3 totally different looks. So we'll be right back. So let me show you the amount of filing I'm going to actually be doing. Keeping my file straight, not like this, like this. As you can see, the nails are not really secure, so I'm going to have to see what I mean. Move that finger and move that one. Come on, Andrea. She always loses this nail tip first. Why? Why? I swear I'm beginning to think she's trying to tell me something. If you're only starting out and you have a hand like this, it's difficult. Rather get like a silicone practice finger, or better yet, silicone practice hand. They are more expensive, but believe me, you won't be struggling this badly. Now I have to be careful, because she keeps wanting to lose her nail. And that's it. Dust off underneath. And that's the amount of filing I'm going to do. I'm going to repeat the same thing on that nail. I don't think it's dry, completely dry yet, because this is what it would sound like if it's dry. Almost. And then I'm just going to take some isopropyl alcohol and just go over to remove any dust. And then we can start with the nail art. Okay, so for our first nail, I'm going to use a base coat. Now you can keep it like this and just add either the top coat, the air dry top coat, or just a gel top coat. But since I'm going to be doing some nail art, This one is going to be chrome, and my chrome unfortunately doesn't stick to the nail unless it has a bit of a sticky layer, or a tacky layer rather. It has to have a bit of a layer, a sticky tacky layer, for it to actually stick to the nail. Like I said, 3 totally different designs coming your way just now. And then I'm going to cure for 60 seconds. So the chrome I'm using is a soft pearly pink, and it's from a local shop, so I'm just going to dip my finger in and apply to a nail. Now obviously with chrome, the more you rub, the better it will look. Also, if you are new, please remember to like and subscribe. It is free and it really will help me out quite a lot. Good. Oh, I was just about to say I didn't spill, but yeah, right. It's me and it's not going to happen, I always spill. So I'm going to take a little bit of spider gel as well. Even though we want this to be, let me see what's going on here. Why are you sticking? Okay, you'll be going into the bin. Great. Let me see if I'm in shot again. Like I said, not being in shot is my superpower. Going to pick up. And simply go over the tip a little bit. Why would you stick there? Why? And once I'm happy like so, I'm going to just cure for 60 seconds. So to that now, I'm just going to now apply. Let me just lift and see if you can. A glossy top coat, and I'm going to cure for 60 seconds. So for our second nail, since he wants to keep losing it, I'm just going to apply a sticker. So I'm not going to be bothered too much if I can remove the damn sticker. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to push this into the nail, making sure that it doesn't lift, because if I do put, or I do apply a layer of top coat, it will lift. Just gently pressing it into the nail. Now I'm going to just apply a glossy top coat and cure again for 60 seconds. So our second nail done and dusted. Now this one is giving me unicorn vibes, so going totally different route on that one. I'm going to use my Born Pretty transfer glue, foil glue gel, Now I'm going to apply to where I want the foil to stick to. So only from here on the pink. Good. And I'm going to cure for 60 seconds. So we're going to apply our unicorn foil to that nail. I'm going to just place it using my dotting tool. I'm going to rub over it because I only want the unicorn, I do not want the pink. So I'm only going to try and transfer the unicorn, if that makes sense. That bit transferred too. Nope, this still needs to be rubbed. Okay. And this as well. So if it didn't transfer, it would be my fault for not using enough transfer glue gel. Now I see what I've done. Okay. I need a little bit of more foil for that part. See, I didn't use enough transfer foil glue, but that's fine. You get the idea. So, a little unicorn. I did not want to cover those stripes, so I'm using a base coat because this will act like almost like a glue for our little rhinestone. Now normally if this is on a person I would use a rhinestone glue, but since it's not, I'm just going to use base coat. But I'm not going to cure because this is a really tiny charm, or rather rhinestone, so it will be able to stay in place. But on you or another person, please use rhinestone glue. So I have these little charms. And I'm thinking like a star maybe. And now I'm just going to cure for 60 seconds and I'll be right back. And there's our 3 ways to do the acrylic. She's forever starting to lose her nails, but okay. There we go. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye guys.